Hello and welcome to Happy Cells and Souls. My name is Julie Powers and I'm a licensed Zumba instructor and I'm a business partner with the Juice Plus company. My missions in life are to help people understand that life is better when they're dancing through it and to inspire healthy living around the world. But my expanded mission is to create better health at the cellular level and more joy at the cellular level. I believe we only get one body while we're here on earth and we're supposed to actually take care of it. But I also believe that we're supposed to be joyful and we're supposed to fill the world with love and light. And so that is what brings me to these conversations. I've had some really amazing relationships with people throughout my life. And I think that the most interesting conversations happen when we actually listen to people and we open our hearts and we try to understand where they're coming from. Doesn't matter if we have differences in opinions, beliefs, cultures, religions, politics, it doesn't matter because we can learn something from everyone if we just keep our hearts and our minds open. Now, today's conversation is with someone that I've known for more than 20 years, my friend Pam and her wonderful husband, Michael. So Michael and Pam Johnson, they met through online dating. So this conversation is all about how did that work for you? Because I know a lot of people that have met their special person through online dating. And some of them have had marriages that have lasted for years and years. I mean, we're talking 20 years. So it was way back before online dating was even a real thing. So I would love for you to tell us a little bit about your story. So Pam, would you like to start?
Absolutely. Julie, thanks for having us. First of all, just a quick background. I was married for 26 years, 2 kids. Marriage did not work out. And I was single for quite some time and tried the traditional dating a couple times, did not work out. And to be honest, those of you who don't feel that you're savvy enough to be on the internet or kind of are concerned or are a little scared about it, it works and it works great. I came home one day. My kids knew I was ready to go out there and start dating after many years of being single. And I came home one day, my 2 kids were sitting on the couch and told me I was going to have a come to Jesus meeting with them. So they had set up websites, 3 of them, for me already. And I had the choice to either sit with them and tweak what they had already put down, or they were going to push send. So that's
well, what did you do? Did you tweak it?
I sat with them.
Okay.
I sat with them and definitely went over some things because we had discussed first of all, what did God and God's word say that a husband should be? And then it says in God's word that he loves us so much, he'll give us the desires of our heart, but we have to ask for those things. So boy, I made a list. I made a list of those things I want in a husband. I prayed over those things. The kids added them. And there were 64 items on that list. He met 62 to 64. So, but
she's working on the other 2 right now.
But I would
love to know what the 2 things are, but I don't know if that's something you can say in public or not. So go ahead.
Yeah, but I was so grateful for my kids to recognize that in me, that I was ready, but I didn't have the courage myself to facilitate that. And then once I was online, I was amazed at how quick online dating goes. So that was a little bit of a shock. And but you need friends like Julie Powers.
It was during COVID time too.
Yeah, and it was during COVID.
Like the world was shut down.
Yeah, and there's nowhere to go meet people. And so, and I already tried that, and it just didn't work. So, and you need friends too. Like I had Julie to help me not delete people, and and she knew what I needed when I needed it too. So you need that support. Having some problems there.
Well, what I think is really funny is I remember that we had talked about how things were going, and you had told me about somebody that you met with in person, and that you had given him multiple opportunities to ask you questions about yourself,
Oh,
and and that they never actually did. He never asked you a question about yourself. He just kept talking about himself and how discouraged you were by that. And,
yes.
because you had felt like there would be a much better conversation when you met in person. But then I said, well, who else have you met? And who else is even a potential date or a person to meet? And you said, well, there's this one guy, but he has kids and I don't want to be a stepmom. I've already done that. I don't want to go there again. And he's younger than me. And you were just like, but
Yeah, well,
sounds great.
not that I was a stepmom. It was that he had a kid in high school
Yeah.
still, and
Yeah.
I didn't want to go through high school
I
years
don't want to
again.
do that. And I believe the conversation went something like this. Just going out or meeting this person doesn't mean you're going to become the child's stepmother.
Yep, that's what you told me.
Maybe this is somebody that you're just supposed to meet to be a good friend. And it would be nice to know this person. And then I swear it wasn't very long after that I asked you to drive me to the airport. And that was the day you were going to meet Michael in person for the first time. And I'm like, wait, what? This is the guy?
That's right.
And
Yeah.
here he sits. And you guys have been married since
December 12th.
All right, so it's coming up on your first anniversary.
Yep.
And it was just, I believe that you said that when you met for the first time and you hugged, it was really like coming home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
So
It was.
Michael, I know that you had a similar experience because you had a long-term marriage that ended, and you had children, and you had tried dating online and doing different things on and off, but then there was Pam. What was
Yeah.
different? What was different about Pam's profile that made you really want to get to know her better?
Well, first I'll say that we're also celebrating another anniversary tomorrow, and that's the first time we made contact online.
Ah,
So
yeah, because
big
that
day.
was
That's a
really
big day
fast.
for us.
Yeah,
Big day
because it
for
was
us.
just a couple of weeks
Yeah.
between when you first started talking online to when you were going to meet, because that was in October. I remember it was early October last year that I had to fly out somewhere. And
Yeah.
and I'm like, wait, what? That was fast.
Yep.
I had it. Pardon me.
I said, when it's perfect, it's perfect. It cannot be
Right.
fun.
Preach it.
So yeah, I had similar experiences with respect to past marriage and kids and bringing in a marriage together with children and the thoughts of what it looks like of doing that when you're combining families and things like that. So we had a lot of the same concerns and a lot of the same thought process with respect to online dating, but I was online dating for a few years, and I went on quite a few dates and obviously didn't find the one until my last date. But I didn't find online dating threatening whatsoever. You hear the horror stories, but I never met anyone that I just couldn't have a conversation with, even if there wasn't that chemistry, even if you knew it wasn't going to be your forever person. I never went out on a date where I just felt like I wasted my time. There was some sort of value in each of those dates. Now, I walked away from all of them, obviously, except the last one, just thinking that maybe I'll just keep hoping and praying that the one's out there. So I'd say persistence is a big part of this, and you got to keep hope alive. and you know,
And don't compromise.
don't compromise.
Well, you know, I looked up some statistics about online dating, and it says that 30% of adults have tried online dating, which seemed like a pretty high percentage to me. 60% of them reported having a successful or positive experience, while 12% ended up getting married or having a very committed relationship. And so that seems pretty good. Then there's also all kinds of things about 81% of people on online dating sites misrepresent themselves. And so there are, you know, a lot of things that people do, white lies, little white lies, whether it's about their weight or their, you know, their age or some of their likes and dislikes. But the story that I was reading said that what it does for some people is it gives them that opportunity to meet in person, and they know that if they've lied about, oh, their weight or their age, it's going to be very apparent when they meet that person, but they're hoping that they have enough of a connection that the person will overlook that.
I found getting on, sorry.
That's all right. We'll see you in a second here. It just says Pamela's iPhone. Do, 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 do,
Oh.
do, 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 do,
Shoot.
do. There you are.
There. Sorry about that. And I found if the sooner you can at least video chat with someone, the better, because then you see what you really, the profile really, if it held up to what it said or not, you know, it was or not. So that's the quicker you can video chat, the better.
Yeah, and I think I would say that that's, I would definitely use that as protocol, that before you meet anyone, you know, that way you can make sure that the, you know, looks aren't everything, but if someone's projecting themselves as one thing and the product is actually something different, it does throw you back when you see them.
Right.
Because you obviously had an attraction and an interest to this person that you saw online. And
Right.
I did run into that more than once, but at the same time, we're still able to bridge that into something positive by the end. But
it's definitely worth.
It sounds like, Michael, that you were looking at this as an opportunity to meet people and to form some kind of a relationship with that person, not necessarily a romantic, long-term committed relationship, but you were just being very open to meeting people. And I think sometimes that is the biggest hurdle for people, is to just want to meet somebody else, because people get stuck in their little comfort zones, and it's comfortable there. It's, you know, it's safe there because they don't have to really talk about themselves or put themselves out there and be vulnerable. But it sounds like it was a really good option for you. And I like the idea, you know, technology is great to be able to do the video conferencing and the video chats and FaceTime and all of those things. There were some statistics about how old the pictures were that people were using on their online profiles. You know, for men, it was different than women. Men tended to use pictures that were more current than women. So I thought that was interesting. But, you know, whenever you guys met in person, you knew that this was a relationship that was going to go somewhere other than just a one-off conversation. We
had also spent quite a bit of time talking and texting and video chatting and prior to meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So, but one thing great about internet dating is that you can narrow it down to people with the similar interests, similar beliefs, and similar likes. So instead of just rolling the dice, that is what I really liked. Is that I found, you know, it weeded out. Kind of hate to use that word, but it weeded out a lot of things I was interested in.
And to go back to your point, Julie, for me, you know, you you can't look at each profile and the communication as this could be the one, this could be the one. But you also can't look at it as I'm not going to put myself out there to find the one, because you got to have that hope and you got to execute and you got to make that first step. But when you start doing that, you also have to keep in mind is that I'm going to keep my expectations just to where they should be. I'm not going to put them up here until you know. And then when you know, you obviously know.
Well, so I know that a lot of people, they go to the online dating route because either they've been divorced, widowed, they, have never had success in any type of relationship before, and that is now is just the time, or they're young and they're just entering the dating world. But a lot of people our age, Pam and I are in that 50 plus.
Cougar.
Smart woman. No, but a lot of times people just put themselves last. Like I know that Pam, after the divorce, you really focused on your kids, and then you focused on a whole new career and went back to school. And so you put your love life on the back burner because you had other things that you really wanted to focus on first. And so I think that so many people come at this from all different directions. Is there any one thing in particular that you would like to sort of, give people a direction to go other than what we've already talked about? I know that safety is a really big concern for people, is that when you're finally going to meet someone in person, always do it in a public place, let someone know where you're going to be, that kind of thing. But is there anything else like that? We have just a couple of minutes left. And so if you have any other tips for somebody just maybe thinking about doing this, what would you?
First of all, I was amazed at how safe it is. That was a pleasant surprise. But I was only on websites that you had to pay for. So I think that narrowed a lot of things down. But I hear that people have had great success on the free dating apps as well. But don't rush into this. Internet dating goes fast. When you're an adult, you kind of know what you want. You've been there, you've done that, you know what you want. Be patient. Don't think, like Michael said, this is the one or could be the one. And just get to know the person. And like you said, the great advice, let people know where you are. My daughter and son, they had everything on my phone to follow my phone and where I'm going to be and when I'm going to be home, and
right.
And friends like you, so I encourage, because I know how skeptical I was. And so if a skeptic like me can find just such peace and happiness and joy and true love, it is worth the chance to take, because it has been absolutely amazing.
I would say, I think my message would be to most importantly, put yourself out there. Mm-hmm. You've got to make the step. And then when you do, be cautious, but be transparent. Don't try to create a profile like Facebook. It's not all happy.
Right.
You got to put obviously your attributes and things that are going to stand out, but at the same time, be transparent, be who you are, put most recent pictures you got, put some of your dislikes too, because there's a lot of there's a lot of meeting ground with some things that you dislike as well. So
right,
but you have to put yourself out there first and foremost.
I think that is really good advice, because the whole purpose is to find someone that would be compatible with you and who could potentially spend the rest of your life together. So why fake it? Why fake it? Why not just be who you are, right? And it has been a joy watching Pam's heart bloom with all this love and light whenever you entered the little screen And and when you guys met, it's just been a true love story from then on. So thank you for sharing your story with
Well,
whoever
and Julie,
watching.
thank you for being my friend that talked me out of deleting him. So I appreciate you so much.
Oh, I am so happy that I had the tiniest little piece of that. But
Huge.
Michael, yes, you owe me forever.
You're right. You're exactly right.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me. And it's time, I think, for you guys to go and root on a football team.
Yeah.
Steelers.
Thank you.